Welcome to IYR Talks English. There looks to be an imminent change of regime in Iran. The way things are going, people are protesting. At least it appears as if it's only a matter of time before there's a change of regime there. The Ayatollah Khomeini, who was in exile in Paris, came back to Iran somewhere in 1979 after the dethroning of the then ruler Raja Pahlavi. In fact, that reign was quite a modern reign as far as Iran is concerned. He was secular by nature. He claimed his lineage more from the Persian rulers of pre-Islamic era, because before Islam came to Persia, Persia was a big empire. The Darius, who was ruling that, they fought the Alexander, and it was a very, very well-established empire. But once Islam came into existence, the Arabs came over with the sword and occupied whole of Persia and changed it to Islam. So he went beyond Islam and claimed his lineage and was presiding over Persia as a modern state with a lot of investment in infrastructure, development, all these things. He was also an independent ruler who was able to foresee the interests of America and was not willing to subsume Iranian interests with those of American interests. Maybe that's where the clash has actually come over, and maybe America had a role in the regime change and the Ayatollah coming over and taking over of the reins in Iran. In fact, Raja Pahlavi was more pro-Pakistan when India-Pakistan war happened in 1970. At that time, he looked at India as a possible regional competitor, and if India gets strengthened, that may not be to his advantage. But once the war was over, there was excellent stuff, and a lot of Indian doctors and others went over there, became part of most of the infrastructure projects there being run by Indians. And Iran was willing to invest a lot in iron ore and other projects in India. In fact, the Kurdemukh project in Karnataka was started at that time with Iranian assistance. But then suddenly the Ayatollahs came and took over, and the whole country went back into medieval ages in terms of custom, everything. Possibly he misjudged the local mood. All said and done, Iran was a very, very conservative pastoral society, and suddenly he introduced a modern outlook, and that outlook got just limited to Tehran, whereas the rural areas were still in a very, very conservative society, and that clash ensured that his regime was thrown out and Ayatollah came over. And then, of course, they gave a very, very bad governance as far as the country is concerned for almost so many years, from 1980 onwards, about 40 years. Time that there is a change in government. What seems to have really now sealed the fate of the Ayatollah is they were not willing to accept Israel as a country. They wanted to ensure that Israel is out of the map of the world. For that purpose, they started financing Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Palestine. once after that October 7th incident, Israel has started finishing off Hamas. At the same time, they also finished off Hezbollah. They also made inroads into Iran. And Iran was also trying to develop nuclear capability, which was not to the liking of America. So America, Israel put together have really targeted Iran. Simultaneously, America has put a lot of sanctions on Iranian oil. And in fact, their only wealth is oil. And not able to sell the oil, not able to do any business. Now the economy is totally collapsing and their local currency real is, the ratio between a dollar and a real is in thousands, lakhs or some such thing. So there's a total collapse of the economy because of which there's a revolt from the public. And given the situation, given the economic instability, I'm sure it's only a matter of time before there's a regime change. But will the regime change be to the betterment of Iran? That's where the whole problem lies. Wherever America involves and results in a change of regime, they can leave even a much worse person to take care of the local situation. That happened in Iraq, that happened in Libya, that is likely to happen in Venezuela. So at least in Iran, what should be a better alternative? If they can, if the Raja's descendant is likely to come as an interim administrator, that's okay. But in the long run, it is to the advantage of the world and of Iran if there are free and fair elections and a more secular, modern government comes over there to take charge of the things. But any government which is more modern and secular in Iran is to the advantage of India, because India does not share a border with Iran, but Iran can be an important partner for India in terms of business and also as a stepping point for us to get an access to Middle East, Central Asia and on to Eastern Europe. If that Chabahar port, the railway link, all those things are through, that would be a great advantage as far as India is concerned. Let's see. Let's hope there will be a change of regime as far as Iran is concerned. Thank you.